Man, it's hard to believe that this last week of the regular season. It's just hard to imagine that this has happened. All that's gone by. We certainly want to finish this thing right. We'd love to finish up this December and do a good job. Putting together some more good games here, and this is an important one leading into everything that comes up. So it's a huge opportunity for us to play good and to work good well and to just continue to force the fundamentals to get better and all that good stuff in ball. So that's really how we're going about it, and we have not been very successful against the Cardinals here, and it's important to us to make sure that we are. And so we got to put together a nice game, and it really goes back to the prep to get that done.
Pete, what's the key to keeping the foot on the gas pedal, even though you guys have already clinched? What's the message to the guys to close out strong?
That every game that we've ever played has always been the same, and that we're trying to give everything we have to get the kind of performance that gives us a chance to be as good as we can possibly be. And I know that you hear it all the time, but that's what they keep getting pounded with, and I had never backed off that, and we're not starting now. If we start doing that and trying to figure out which game's more important than another one, I don't think you can count on getting back on track. You don't know. You may be able to, but you may not. So we're not going to take that chance. We're just going for it.
What has stood out to you about Larry Fitzgerald through the years? Obviously, you played against him a million times here now, it feels like.
Well, he's been a phenomenal competitor. He's really tough and physical. He's extraordinarily talented. He's classy. He's got great character about the way he plays. Ability to come through, to make big plays in tough situations. Incredible athleticism. His hands are just, and strength of catch is just amazing. I think you go back to the playoff games a couple years ago when he's playing with Carson and making the plays at the end of the game to give him a chance. He's just been a phenomenal competitor. He's one of the all-timers.
How's Tedrick?
Tedrick's going to work today. We'll get some work out of him. So the chest thing has cleared. No jokes. This is cleared.
How about Jermaine Ifedi? What's his situation?
He's going to work today, and we'll see how well he does and if he can sustain also. But he's ready to go to work. We're going to be real quiet with Fluke, and we'll go day to day on that one.
Bradley McDougall's knee okay?
Bradley will give him a break today, but he's going to practice this week. Came out of the game all right.
Did the workload he had to do on Sunday, did that set him back at all, or is it still, did he come out of it mainly okay, given the circumstances?
And KJ, right, it sounded like made it through? Okay.
KJ did, yeah. We'll look after him during the week because this is the first day back after a big game. But there was a really good report coming out of it. He played well and did well and all that, and so we'll just take him on into the week. We'll go one day at a time. But we expect him to be okay to play.
How's JR's foot?
He's pretty sore, and that's a day-to-day thing. He needs some more information to know exactly what to expect, which it will happen today, but I don't have that for you yet. So we'll know a little bit more as we go tomorrow.
Regarding Monday night and your contract extension, did you go out and did you buy?
No, we really, I knew about it last week, so it's not like that. So nobody would go out with me anyway, so what the heck,
Have you, did you have much interaction with Jody prior to the last couple of weeks?
No, we have not hung out at all, and over the time, and we had one really significant meeting and a couple talks, and she's been really excited and really fired up about doing this, and anybody that's at 12 that cares for the Seahawks would be really fired up about how she's looking at this and how she wants to go about it. She's got a great love and spirit for the area and the club. And it must be in the family, that she cares so much. But she's ready to go. I'm excited for her.
Did you get a sense about how engaged she has been with the team's fortunes over the?
Yeah, she's been lived right next door to Paul all these years. They've been going through it together for years, and so she's a great follower of the Seahawks now, and she's a great fan of the area and all that. So all of that together, as well as the background that she has and the other things that she would like to accomplish, it's really exciting.
You said that resting guys in situations like this kind of message you up. How so?
I think anytime that you back off, you stand the risk of not being able to get back on, and so we just keep pushing. We've been pushing this is 21 weeks we've been going. This is 22 coming up, I think. We've been going at it since we started playing games. That's the only way that we do it. We leave no room for error in that approach, ever. That's the idea.
Have you done that before or been with a team that's done that and you've kind of got burned by it? Resting guys late in the season when you've already got something secured?
No. Nope.
A couple weeks ago, we talked about playing the 49ers really close together. It's been a while since you've seen Arizona. Just how much different is that when you face a team that far apart?
Well, they are a bit different, and the coordinators changed. And Byron Leftwich is calling the plays and whatever. He's in charge of the offense. So there is some changes in it, and you can see those.
Tyler Lockett has the most. He's drawn the most pass interference yards in the NFL, and that's something that he hasn't done a bunch of in previous seasons. Is that just him being the best he's ever been, or is there anything else that has kind of spurred the amount of penalties?
No, I think Russ has really gone to him more so in down the field situations. That usually happens downfield, and not always, but usually. I think his role in the offense has just expanded, and that's why he's got all the touchdowns and all the big plays and all of that, and that stat kind of follows in with it. He's pretty cagey too, He's pretty cagey about how he goes about his work, and he's doing a good job drawing fouls.
Russell's had very few interceptions this year. Is there a single aspect of the relationship between Russell and Brian Schottenheimer that stands out that has helped increase Russell's efficiency?
Yeah, I think there is something to the relationship. I think their communication. I think the willingness that Brian has had to expose him to everything that he could, instead of maybe not doing that, not trying to overload him. He's really unloaded football, on him in every way that he best can. And Russ has taken to it. They've just been on a really high level of communication throughout. I do think also that Shotty's been really tough on him throughout and really demanding, and it's exactly the way Russ wants it. Russ wants to be great, and he wants to be coached to be great, and he doesn't want any slack in there at all. So Shotty has really filled that void and very comfortably, and it's worked out well.
Is there some aspect that he's helped eliminate from Russ's game in terms of whether
I don't see it that way so much. I think he just added. I don't see him taking things away. I think he's seen where he was. He made an evaluation as we went through the offseason, and then we assessed all of that and then moved ahead. I don't think it's like we didn't take anything out of his offense or anything out of his game. I think we just added to it, and he's just better at it. And I think he's better for it too because of the process.
You've talked to us before about how it's all about the ball, all about the ball. You have. How have you stressed that?
You said that.
How do you tell guys, like, as you're signing them or drafting them or scouting them, about how much they emphasize it? Do you make them carry a ball around the facility? What's unique about the culture of the ball here?
Emphasis. Emphasis in every way, forever. Every turn, every step, every day, April, May, it doesn't matter when. It's the number one thing that we emphasize. And we've been doing that for a long time, and what our challenge is how well can we emphasize it? And how well can we transfer that emphasis so that they engage it and adopt that as part of their play and the mentality of it. And there's a constancy. It just goes away if you don't. I mean, you just have to be on it because it's almost, there's unnatural aspects of it when you play, the things that you have to do. And so you just have to train and drill and with the highest of expectations to get it done.
You've had penalty, or when guys make penalties, they might run or might have some kind of punishment. Do you have any for turnovers or fumbling?
It is such a big deal around here that, guys get put on the screen and they get hammered and they get whatever, they get hooted at or whatever if they're even loose with the ball a little bit, and so we're really tuned into it. And but no, we don't spank them.
What can you tell us about Elijah Nkansa other than has a pretty amazing touchdown to plays played?
He's 1 for 1. He's perfect,
I guess what did you see about him and kind of what he was
All I can picture that his family watching the game on TV probably said, "No wonder he scored. Elijah's in the game." He should always have, But no, he did a good job. He ran half the football, and it was pretty. I realized it when it came off the field, so we had some fun with it on the sidelines, and I was hoping he'd get a chance to go back in so we could score again, but it didn't come up.
I know that you do treat every game as a championship opportunity, but is there a difference in the snaps that some of these young guys are getting late in the season versus early? If you've got like a King last week getting more snaps, and you're seeing the workload for some of these guys go up?
No, I'm not sure how that ties in. I'm sorry, but no, it doesn't, I mean, like, we're not giving away plays and reps late in the year. No, so that means every play that they play, they're trying to fill in for the guy that just stepped out. I mean, it's like Ethan did a great job this week of stepping in. He was comfortable with it. He embraced it, nailed it on both sides. Did a really good job with our expectations that he was going to play just like Sweeze, or play, exactly the way that we needed, DJ to play in essence, and so I don't.
Looking at it more from the other side, right? What's on the line for the other team, or just kind of the size of the games and how much experience the opponents have against them at this point? Are the reps at the end of the season for them any more valuable or any different from the competition standpoint, not your expectations?
Wow, that's really deep, Jen. I'm not sure. So are the reps any more valuable for them against our young guys? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know. Let's talk about that later, okay? Because I don't get it. That's just my shortcomings. I don't get it.
Mentioning Akeem King, what's kind of brought him to this role that you kind of carved out for him?
Yeah, well, he's really done well. He's done well. He's always looked good in practice, and he just hasn't had the chance to jump in with any reps. And he's fast. He's big and strong for a corner. He's got good sense about him. He's played some safety in his background. We've seen him on film against other teams when we took him. He had a really good camp and all of that. Just didn't get his opportunity. And what he did, as soon as he got it, he did something. And then when he came back, he did it again. And then this guy's in there. So we're looking for ways to include him. Is what it is now, which is a great thing for a young guy trying to make it and all that. And he's really doing well by it.
Pete, what's been the key to the red zone defense, the success, the communication or execution? What's been that?
Please say the start of it again.
Sorry. Yeah, what's been the key for the success of your defense in the red zone?
I think they're really disciplined about it. They understand what Kenny's trying to get done. We practice it every day, so they should have a lot of reps where they feel good. And then when it gets down to it, then the guys got to make their plays. You got to see guys jump in front. Bradley knocks the ball down in the end zone last couple weeks ago, and you see last week Trey came in from his side and knocked the ball down on about the 5-yard line, and then you saw what happened with Shaq this week. It's making those plays when the opportunity arises, and usually that comes from when they really feel confident and they feel like they can play fast and they can go for it, and they believe in what they're doing. They're not wondering or second guessing. I think that's because of the reps and the turns, and we've had a lot of carryover. Same guys playing, and they've just improved during the course of the year.
Is Janikowski okay?
Yes, he's all right. He made it back.
What'd you think of the drop kicks, Michael's drop kicks?
I loved the first one. The second one, he kind of chili dipped it to the left and OB. So, he's 1 for 2 in the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what he can do. I have total confidence to have him do that. I have no problem with him doing it by situations, if weather, winds, whatever. We've got a lot of things that he can do that if we need him, he can jump in. I really wouldn't hesitate. You saw how deep he can kick the ball. So, and he's kicked the ball in the end zone too. So he can do that if we need to. So, it's pretty exciting. It's an exciting weapon for us.
If he had to kick a extra point or a field goal, would it be a drop kick,
He's
or
dropping
could he?
it. Yep,
Okay.
he's dropping it.
You've got 3 guys there.
We've worked on the snaps and all that, so he's ready to do that.
Sorry. Michael, Sebastian, and Tyler are all from sort of different backgrounds. What's that like, having 3 guys with such diverse
They're
backgrounds?
kind of like the 3 amigos, They kind of ride together, and they put the hats on, they look the same, but really they're totally different guys.
You guys are tied with for the NFL all-time lead in fewest turnovers for a season right now at 10. Where does that, in terms of single-season feats for a team, rank with you?
Well, we're working on seeing if we could get a minus here so that we can get ahead of those guys, whoever that was. We're going to have to take one off the book somehow, because probably the team that we're battling with, who I don't know who it is, probably didn't give one up in the last game of the year, so it's going to be pretty hard to beat them. But I think that's an extraordinary fact of ball, and I'm so thrilled to be part of that. I wish we had the record, outright, but that just gives us a chance to go after it again. Now, if they had 11 or whatever it is, and we can knock that out this week, we're going for it. It's. I think we've had 8 or 9 games this year where we haven't had a ball go away, and that's. I couldn't even say it. Have a ball. They get a ball from us, and that's a marvelous collection of effort to get that done. And it starts with the cube, and then all the way throughout. But he hands it to somebody or throws it to somebody every snap. So it's all of the guys involved with the linemen and everybody. And so we just got to see if we can just do it one more time and have a good first quarter and just take it on down and see if we'll climb through the game with it.
How would you kind of characterize Rasheem Green's season? Hasn't had a ton of numbers out there.
I think it's a good growing season for him. I think he's, it's kind of early to be looking back here, but I think he's had a good start to it. He's had some bright spots. He's been on the field. He's been in and out of it. Been off the active a couple times too. So he knows what that's like. I think it's been a really good first year for him to get started.
And Rashad Penny is okay as well?
He's going to practice today. Yeah, so we're looking for him to be back. Okay, but again, same thing. Got to make it through the week.
Any new injuries emerge in the last day or so?
No. I hope not. None that I know of.
Anything else?
Jen, let's go talk.
Thank you.